Hey, I'm Justin, and today we're diving into how to stop replaying past memories and experiences. Why go into this topic, right? Bottom line is, I know that I did this to myself so much in the past. Just living in my thought, my memory, my experiences, and picking it apart. Naturally creating suffering. Naturally, we don't even need to go into the specifics or the content. Whatever it may be, jealousy, envy, seeking, desire, lust, whatever it may be that you are replaying within your mind, regret. The structure is this simple, right? And we come from the structural perspective to make sure that we can actually learn through the listening of this video and to yourself. The hearing your own movements. But your past, right? It's not here anymore. That's the truth, okay? And it might be hard to hear that, but that's the truth. Your past is not here. Right now is right now. And there can be one breath taken, and you can come back to realize, oh yeah, I actually am here right now. And I'm right, because when we go into that cycle of replaying memories or experiences, it can really get dark. It can get dark quick. And so I just made a video, the beautiful contrast between pain and suffering. And that's kind of what we're getting at here, is are we going to do the noticing to see what happens every time we dive into this thought, this memory, this experience. And now, when I say this, I'm not meaning a specific line of specific detailed thought, like real. I'm talking the structure. Now, you could go into a memory or experience which was pleasurable and flattering, but it will create that same suffering as being in a experience or memory of jealousy, avoidance, or just despair or depression. Why? Because naturally thought and the past and memory is not what's here. And when we go in, whether it's the flattering, the pleasurable, or the painful and the despair, it's two ends of the same extreme. Two sides of the same coin right there. And that is, one end we will chase that flattering, chase that pleasure. On the other end, we run, we avoid, we escape from the pain. But the bottom line is, the knowledge and the memory getting stuck in that loop is going to invite the chasing or the running. And either way, whether you're chasing or running, you're doing that thing which is not here right now, that thing which is founded upon a scarcity, an energetic layer of not being calm, aware, and truly at peace with what is actual in this moment. And to get to a awareness where you can see the beauty within the contrast, I can guarantee you, no matter where you're at, you've had at least a moment where you are not stuck in memory or thought or experience, meaning that you weren't really thinking. And when we have those moments of not thinking, that's what we're talking about here. The beauty within life. When you can crouch down and look at what's directly in front of you and observe the nature without needing to label and call out every little thing that you see, but you can actually just sit there and watch. Therefore, space is invited, clarity can operate. And that clarity is essentially the freedom from memory, experience, and thought. And as you start to notice time and time again, there's a contrast, right? I start thinking memory, experience. There's a contrast to those other moments, the essence behind just sitting there and watching nature. And it doesn't have to be nature. You could be sitting there having a conversation on a busy road, cars driving by, and you can be in that place where you and whom you're communicating with are not separate. You guys are at the same level. You guys are listening. You're having a real conversation. You're not like forcing your own preferences, your program, your likes, your beliefs. You're not just saying things to say things, but you're watching what doesn't need to be said. You're creating the space by truly listening, not to the words that they're saying, but the meaning, the tone of voice, holistically perceiving what they're communicating. And it would be foolish to think that words are the only thing that we're communicating, right? Like, you can see gestures, body language, tone of voice, cadence of speech, and then maybe the words, right? But this is all about becoming more aware. And as you become more aware, you perpetuate less pain. And that is, naturally, you are in a abundant, aligned being. But what we do with the knowledge, the memory, the experience, we hold on to it. We grip tightly. And then through living in that way for a certain period, we become rigid and mechanical. We create glass ceilings within our worldview and our psychology. We speak in a way where we're limiting. And if we don't bring the skepticism into the fold, the question, the way that we live, the way that we move, speak, everything, to the granular details, right? But we make this simple. Because the moment I hear myself use a phrase, granular details, that can bring and invite complexity. The complexity dissipates psychological space, which is absolutely necessary. The psychological space is necessary for us to meet on the same layer, to have a real relationship, to have true conversation and connection where we're both listening. So we do need that psychological space. And that's why I speak and come from such a structural angle when I share here. Because I'm not here to confuse you. I'm here to make things simple so that you can potentially have the fog dissipate and see more clearly. But although I can't do the work for you, but simply we lay out that map. And to stop replaying the memories, the thoughts, the experiences, you have to see so clearly that is the act of turning pain into suffering. You are the literal embodiment of the devil when you do that. And I mean that on the rawest level possible. And you also are in line with the intelligence, the universe, the creator, when you create clarity through what we're speaking about here. Now, this is not a step-by-step guide. There's no step-by-step path to seeing transparently, to having your brain be in the light. There's no step-by-step path, but there are simple structures. And to see that you can no longer allow for yourself to consistently turn pain into suffering, you get to a point where you're sick of being sick and tired. And then you start to inquire and be skeptical. Who is it that's making me sick of being sick and tired? And then you start to see that it's you and the way that you live. It's no one else. No one else. No one controls you. Now, practically, there may be figures in your life who have an energy, who are doing things which don't help to create psychological space. But that's all it is. And that's the truth. And you have the responsibility, it's your responsibility to figure out how to create psychological space in your life. No one will ever do it for you. No one can ever do it for you. And that's the beauty of your own work. The fruit of your life is your harvest. How you live moment to moment is your life. I'm talking about your life. Moment to moment. And you can absolutely free yourself from this suffering. And it really starts simple. It's not anything extravagant. You don't need a new house. You don't need new objects or more money. Don't need a new job, certain degree. You can do the work right here, right now. Maybe your vessel isn't clean enough, right? Because we're talking about energy, we're talking about structure. And, right, if you are clogged with alcohol, with fast food, you're terribly overweight. Your house is dirty, right? Every moment you have a thought, a memory. Well, then we have to start uprooting that foundation which has been corrupted. And that's kind of the part where it feels like rock bottom. But before things get better, they might have to get dirtier. And that is, right? Before you build the beautiful architecture, you might have to uproot and use the excavator to get rid of the old foundation. You might have to do that. You might have to do that. And I mean, hey, you don't have to do that alone. I'd love to help you uproot your own foundation. I can't do it for you. We can do it together. But bottom line is, it's for you. This is for you. This is your life. And, from the bottom of the heart, I know you have what it takes. I know you have the capacity. I can guarantee you that. You have the strength, the courage, the capacity, the wisdom, the intelligence. You innately were built for this. So it's time. It's time to say, you know what? I do see. And every time I start replaying and going into that thought, that cycle of memory, that spiral of experience, I see what it does. I see how that works. And that's not the life for me. That's not the life for me. If this was enjoyable, let's go. Bottom line is, subscribe below. Writing 3 to 4 new emails per week. Got some brilliant things in the works, which I am more than excited about. Let's go. Ich bin dankbar. I am grateful. Beyond grateful. Have a beautiful day. Woo!